Members, the next submitter is the New Zealand Council of Trade Unions.
Morena.
Kia ora. Good to see you. You'll be familiar with the process and the limited time we have. We have 10 minutes, including time for questions. So I'll just hand it straight over to you for your submission.
Kia ora, thank you, Chair. Call Richard Wagstaff aho. I'm the President of Te Kauae Kaimahi, the Council of Trade Unions, and the team here from CTU is Laures Park to my right, is a Rūnanga Co-convenor, Erin Polaczuk to my left, the Acting Secretary for the CTU, and Guyaal Iddamalgoda, our Legal Officer. I'll hand over to Laures to begin our submissions, please.
Tēnā tātou. Ko mata whaura te maunga, ko hau te awa, ko Ngāti Piki ao te iwi. I whānau au hau I reira. Engari ki tōku māma no Ngāti Rangi me te whānau apanui, tōku pāpā no te hiku tū o te hokianga, ko Laures Park hau. Tēnā tātou, Raurangatira mā. A great place to start, Raurangatira mā. Tino rangatiratanga is Māori control over Māori lives with the purpose of improving the collective well-being of iwi, hapu and whānau. Absolute sovereignty, independence and autonomy. That's what our tipuna signed for in 1840. The objective of colonisation is to relegate the colonised peoples to subservience by inhibiting cultural cohesion and destroying their language. So the destruction of indigenous languages as a blueprint of colonisation happened all over the world. And in the case of Aotearoa, Te Reo Māori had almost disappeared in one generation. In 1862, the school inspectorate reported to Parliament that a refined education or high mental culture would be inappropriate for Māori because they are better suited by nature to make their living by manual, not mental labour. In 1880, Te Kauae College was led by John Thornton, where the first Māori graduates, including Sir Peter Buck, Sir Apirana Ngata, Sir James Carroll and Sir Maui Pomare were produced. But a Royal Commission of Inquiry put John Thornton and his board on trial for continuing to teach academic subjects to Māori boys. John Thornton and his board were sacked. In the 1930s, the New Zealand Federation of Teachers attempted to have Te Reo Māori included in the national curriculum, but this was blocked by the Director of Education, who said education should lead the Māori lad to be a good farmer and the Māori girl a good farmer's wife. By the end of the 1980s, the education system had done what was intended. Māori were well represented on the lower echelons of society, and Māori whānau could now be blamed for not being ambitious enough for their children. Right now, removing words like kura for school, ingoa Māori for government departments is having the same intent as in the colonial days. To destroy the value of Te Reo Māori, weaken obligations under Te Tiriti o Waitangi, and to portray Māori as privileged simply because we're Māori. Kia ora.
Kia ora, Laures. I'd like to just make some comments about this bill in regards to individual and collective rights. The principles of Te Tiriti o Waitangi bill were conceived by people who really have no understanding or support for collective rights. ACT and their ilk struggle to accept the notion of community or society and are committed only to advancing individual rights above all else, even if in practice this means growing inequality and threatening social cohesion. Like Māori, the trade union movement understands that none of us are here on our own and that we are all part of something bigger than the sum of our individual parts. And that sometimes stands as, and that's something that stands as a foundation to our individual rights and responsibilities. Māori have a strong understanding of collective rights and collective action. And in fact, Māori join unions, collective organisations of workers, in greater numbers than non-Māori. Te Tiriti is, in a sense, a collective agreement between the Crown and Māori and must be honoured. I'll hand to you, Guyaal.
The ACT Party has often spoken about restoring dignity to landlords. And what this means is that the property rights and privileges of the wealthiest in the community must not be disturbed, while the rights and privileges and entitlements of ordinary people are disposable. For people who value the dignity of the rich and powerful over the collective dignity of ordinary people, Te Tiriti o Waitangi is a deeply inconvenient document. But as outlined in our written submission, it stands. And notwithstanding attempts at neoliberal revision, it expresses a plain desire on the part of the tupuna who signed to secure equal partnership and preserve their collective rights. This bill has nothing whatsoever to do with equality. Maori suffer the real consequences of structural inequality that stem from breaches of Te Tiriti. And when representatives of landlords and bosses call attempts at rectifying these breaches race-based privileges, it is not only morally bereft, it shows the fragility of the powerful who are coddled by the policies of this government. Te Tiriti codes collective power and community rights into the constitutional fabric of Aotearoa. The motivation that has led this government to attack the collective rights of unionized workers is the same as what leads it to attack Te Tiriti. In his speech to this committee, Mr. Seymour stated that even if this bill fails to pass into law, he will not stop pressing its passage. And to Mr. Seymour, we say the workers' movement hears you, we believe you, and you are not the first to push these kinds of agendas. And to paraphrase a great rangatira who stood against past attacks, we say to him, my friend, the workers' movement will oppose you forever and ever and ever. Thank you.